Hello, just wanted to do one more final video of the Winch. The last one I did, I'd had some music playing in the background, and YouTube sometimes frowns on that. This is the fob for it, and I've got the little pin, if you remember, holds it on the trailer. This is the grab, to pull it. As you can see, I've got my wire that was on there. I just have it wrapped around there for now. But you can see I put a nice connector on there. Got these off of, I think it was either Amazon or eBay. But you have two metal, pretty heavy-duty metal pins that slide in there. They got the plastic cover, the heavy-duty metal pins. And what you do is you take the metal pins, and that's what you put the wire in. Let me show you over here. What I've got is a bundle of about 100 foot of 50 feet of cable, and what I did is I got that wire, some pretty heavy duty stuff, again off of, I think this one was off of eBay, but this will handle the amperage that needs to go through it. And again, I've got this connector. You get these connectors, and they're pretty heavy duty. They handle the voltage, and you just basically shove them together, and they push together and pull apart. Really easy. Of course, they're heavy duty enough they'll stay together. And then, of course, there's little metal pins that you connect these wires to, all the wires to. What you do is you connect the wire to it, then you slide the pin in this plastic cover. So what I did was I cut off, took and cut off, some of the insulation on the wire. Put some solder, warm the wire up, and put some solder, let some solder flow in and around the wire. Then I took the little metal pin and, slid the wire inside of it, and then got an idea how much wire, I didn't want any bare wire left here, so I slid the pin, over the wire, and then, trim the wire so that the end of the pin ended right about at where the rubber, the coating, the insulation on the wire started. So once I slid it in here, of course you got insulation way up in here. So now there's no chance of this accidentally hitting a frame or whatever. And what I did was back to the soldering, after I cut the, insulation back, heated up the wire, had to use a blowtorch because it was pretty heavy. And if you're careful, you can do it pretty good. Heated up the wire, let some solder flow into it. Then I took that little metal pin, and the metal pin just pops in here, slides in. You can also pop it out. But I took the metal pin and I tipped it up, dropped a little piece of solder in there, and heated it up. And of course, it when the solder melted and it was bonding to the little metal pin. Then I took this piece of wire that was already pretty warm, and I slid it down in there. So once that solder cooled off, that was like a really good connection. And because this is kind of heavy duty, it's going to be pulled on, and you don't want to be somewhere out in the rain or something where you need it. And it's nighttime and you're connecting this or whatever, or disconnecting and reconnecting for some reason, and have it pop out or whatever on you. So it's pretty heavy duty. It should withstand some, tugging. They had a little fuse. I'm hoping it's a circuit breaker. Like if it pops, that it'll click back on when it cools off. But I just had this little plastic box. The boxes for these at Radio Shack are like $6 or something. I don't know what they are online, but anyway, I just had this little plastic box, and so I just made my own little protection, or a little case to protect the circuit breaker. Obviously, it's got some exposed leads. All this is supposed to be underneath the hood of the car, and I left it open in case it got wet in there. I was going to seal it all up, but I thought, if I seal it, a little bit of moisture gets in there, it's going to stay in there longer. If I leave it a little open, and moisture obviously will get in there, but it'll evaporate out. So we'll see how that goes. I bought these clips again off of it was either eBay, I can't remember now, or Amazon, but these are pretty good. and they'll do the job. I've already tested it out. And again, same deal, heated it up, pulled this little rubber back, down over the wire, back down here. Let this little rubber on here slide off. Again, I coated the wire with solder and put it in here, and then crimped it, and then coated a little bit of extra solder just to make it a heavy-duty little connection there. I actually got a couple sets of these. I got an extra set just because they were so heavy-duty, and they were pretty cheap. The other thing, these go on the battery, of course, positive and negative. And then I've got this little thing I found at Home Depot. It's like a giant zip tie. I've just got this wire all kind of messed up right here. I hadn't wrapped it up, neatly, but this shows you basically, you pop the button and it unzips, and then when you want to get all this wire together, you just, put it around the wire and pull it through. And as you can see, it carries the wire, as separate, which is what I wanted. I thought about hooking all this stuff up on the vehicle, but then I thought, who knows, that nowadays you have electronics and you got to bypass, you can't run too much, interference, I guess, electrical interference, radio interference near the, ABS brakes and this and that. And I thought, and also if I put wiring on the truck, I've got full coverage on it. If that wiring fails, then the insurance company could tell me, well, that wasn't factory, sorry, we're not covering it. So rather than, and then also the hassle of trying to run this and, under the truck and, all, through this place and that place and, away from this and that, the muffler and everything, I thought it'd be better. And also it makes it more usable in other situations if I just made it so I could pop open the hood, put these clips on, all this is protected, don't have to worry about it touching the frame or anything, and just plug this into the winch. And, of course, I already showed you the winch on the frame of the trailer. And I'll probably, in the future, I'll make a little something so I can hook it up to the actual trailer hitch of the truck. And, that way I can, and also the riding lawnmower, that way I can get a little more use out of it, pulling stuff. But this is only a small one, so, but, you never know when it might come in handy. But it was kind of fun. This came out pretty good. But anyway, I just wanted to show you the finished product there, and maybe give you some kind of idea, and for your own project. But myself, I like the idea of keeping it separate. So you see, you can get something from Home Depot, some clips and connectors off of the internet, and wire. That wire got a real good price on that. And you're ready to go, and hope it gives somebody an idea. But I've already tried it out, and it'll actually start bending the frame on the, it was kind of flexing the frame on the trailer. So it's pretty tough. All right, hope you enjoy working on yours.